So imagine this. I'm 22 years old. I had maybe a couple years earlier gotten certified as a personal trainer, and I'm working as a personal trainer in a big box gym, but I'm also working at Disneyland as a fry cook and a dinner cook to make ends meet. The reason was because while I was a good personal trainer, I really didn't know how to sell personal training. And so I found myself lacking clients. And so to me, it kind of boiled down to, I need money. And since I'm not good at selling, I was like, well, all I got is 4 personal training clients right now. I need more money, so I better go get another job. And so that's how I ended up working at Disneyland as well. And of course, working at Disneyland, trading my time for dollars as a fry cook, I figured, all right, between these 2 gigs, I should be all right until I get on my feet and become a full-time personal trainer. My goal was to own a gym one day. You know, a couple of years go by, and if y'all don't know, Disneyland, it has a high gay population. Like, there's a ton of gay people that work at Disneyland, and some of my dearest friends who I've met that I still stay in contact with, I've met at Disneyland. And what's really cool is one day I'm griping to Bob and Randy because the holidays were coming. So it was probably like October. I've got so many nieces and nephews and the holidays are coming. I need more money. And so they're like, well, do you have time to work on the weekends, in the evenings? I'm like, well, sure. Yeah, I do. You know, look, you work with a whole bunch of gay people here. Like, if you're not averse to it, you know, there's a gay nightclub down the street where we go to. They're hiring. They're looking for security. I'm like, dude, make the connection. I'm there. So literally that weekend, I'm working at Oz. So now I find myself working as a personal trainer in the mornings, and in the afternoon, I'm working full time at Disneyland. And then on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm working at Oz. But the thing I couldn't figure out is, why does this gay bar pay so much? Like, they paid really, really well compared to other friends of mine that worked at nightclubs and stuff as bouncers. See, what happened was a lot of skinheads would come and hang out in the parking lot. On that third weekend, word got around that there's skinheads waiting in the parking lot for the club to give out, and the club gave out at around 2 a.m., and they were going to gay bash. There's no other way to say this. They were going to gay bash. They were there with like bats and pipes, and they were going to gay bash. And of course, the manager of the nightclub's like, hey, you guys, as in to us, the bouncers, you guys can't let anyone get hurt. Dude, we would get in fight like once a month with skinheads who were there to gay bash. And I was like, this is not what I signed up for. I wanted to be a personal trainer. Working at Disneyland was fun, and it, you know, made ends meet. But for the holidays, I wanted a little extra money. So I worked at Oz, but man, I did not sign up to work in a place that I'm going to be fighting skinheads with like fucking chains and brass knuckles and baseball bats and lead pipes. And so anyway, that career there at Oz lasted about 4, maybe 5 months. The night that a drunk lesbian whooped my ass, I get wind that there's this woman being yelled at and screamed at and pushed into the fence. I'm like, holy shit, I got to do bouncer duties. Here I go. And so I go through the crowd and I get to the patio and I see this woman pushing her girlfriend against the fence, all in her face, yelling at her. She's like wearing leather, almost like a biker chick, right? Like, her friend was definitely scared. Her girlfriend was definitely scared. And so I was like, hey, can you knock this off? Can you guys just maybe leave? I can open this back door. You guys can leave, take this out in the parking lot, but you can't do it here. You know, you're freaking people out. And she gets in my face and she gets like, hey, what the fuck? What are you going to do about it? And she like punches me in the shoulder. And I'm like, whoa, hey, I don't want any trouble. I'm just telling you, like, they told me to tell you that you got to leave. This bitch went fucking crazy, bro. She's like, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm going to fucking slap you. I'm going to punch you. Well, you know what? You're fucking out of here. Because now she's going off at me and everyone's like, oh, what are you going to do? Well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to hit a woman. So I'm like, you're out of here. And so I grab her from behind. I turn her around. I grab her from behind and I've got her arms pinned next to her side. And I literally pick her up. And now I'm walking in, literally using her to push people out of my way on the dance floor. But as I'm doing that, see, she's smashing my head, my face with the back of her head. And then she's got these fucking construction boots on and she's raking my shins, bro. She's raking my shins with these fucking, and I'm in so much pain and I'm just squeezing her harder, thinking like, I'm sending her a message like, fucking stop, right? And she's not, she just keeps whacking me. And by the time I get her past the bar to the front door where the angry Samoan gay bouncer is, he like literally just grabs her from me and my face is just bleeding. My nose is bleeding. My tooth had bit into my upper lip. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, what did I do wrong, bro? He's like, nothing. That's how that works. Like, what are you going to do? Hit her? I was like, no. And so anyway, it gets crazier because I'd forgotten what happened to her girlfriend. So I'm just going back, you know, wipe my face, whatever. gather myself up. I may have shed a couple of tears. Like, what the fuck just happened? That was traumatic. And I'm back on the dance floor just watching people, and I get fucking clocked from the right-hand side. And I look, and it's her fucking girlfriend. And now she's mad at me for kicking her girlfriend out. And she's like, you hurt my girlfriend. I'm like, well, go fucking spend time with her out there. She's like, well, I'm having too much fun in here, but I just want to let you know you're fucked up. So I got clocked by her too. That was a fucked up night, man. Thankfully, skinheads didn't come that night. Like, could you imagine? It would just been fucking awful. But I share all this with you because during the come up, if you're trying to build a business, during the come up, you are going to experience a lot of shit. Imagine that. I was working as a personal trainer at LA Fitness, only had 4 clients. I was working at Disneyland as a fry cook. I was working as a bouncer at Oz Gay Club. The 4th gig that I had was I'd started a website called TotalMuscle.com. And TotalMuscle.com was, as far as I know, could have been the very first online supplement store. I know now we've got TrueLean, and TrueLean's rocking, but there's also paid ads and influencers and social media and all this stuff. Imagine 1997, 1998, I create TotalMuscle.com. I think it cost me I pieced together 3 credit cards to spend 20 grand to make this shitty website. And there was no way to market. And so my means for marketing TotalMuscle.com, I would go on AOL dial-up and I would search for AOL members that were athletes or into bodybuilding or powerlifting. But my whole marketing strategy was every night when I would get home, I would go on America Online, I would look at profiles, and then I would email them, hey, my name is Bedros. I have a website called TotalMuscle.com. If you're looking for a creatine, if you're looking for protein, if you're looking for pre-workout or fat burners, we've got it all. My goal was to send out 250 emails a night. And the way I did it was I would start it from the West Coast and work my way. So I was like, I'd start at California and I was going to work my way across the country. But again, I've never made profit from it. 40% of the time I had fraudulent orders. The rest of the time shit would expire. And so I'd have to throw them away. And that is how I ended up homeless for a period of 90 days because I used the last amount of money that I had, which was going to be my rent money. But I was like, you know what? I think I'm on a roll. Orders are picking up. I'm just going to keep pumping out 250 emails a night. Things didn't pan out like I wanted, and they evicted me. So I lived in my 79 Toyota pickup for a period of about 3 months. It wasn't bad because Southern California is beautiful, and I worked at a gym, LA Fitness, so I had access to showers and everything. And there I was. I had 4 gigs: TotalMuscle.com, Oz, the Gay Club, Disneyland as a fry cook, and then LA Fitness. 2 LA Fitnesses, La Habra and Fountain Valley, working as a personal trainer, all at the same time. Thankfully, one of those 4 personal training clients was Jim Franco. And one day I was complaining to Jim Franco on a Monday morning, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, man. I can't seem to get clients. All these people are fat walking around the gym and I can't seem to get clients. And he goes, you know why you can't get clients? I go, why? He goes, because you don't know how to sell. You're an order taker. I'm like, what do you mean I'm an order taker? What does that mean? He goes, someone goes to the restaurant, they're hungry. They're already going to eat. The waitress, she's just going to take their order. She's an order taker. Now, if she's good at selling, she could upsell you on drinks and cocktails and dessert. And if she had great personality and is enthusiastic and really delivers great service, she can also beef up her tip. But otherwise, she's an order taker. I'm like, shit. He goes, so you're no different than her. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, well, I sold you 6 months of personal training, man. You come here 3 times a week. He goes, you didn't sell me that. You just filled out the paperwork. I came in here looking for a personal trainer to work with 3 times a week. And I wanted to hire someone for 6 months. And everyone said that you were the best personal trainer here in this gym. I was like, damn, you're right. So I was like, well, then what do I do, Jim? And he goes, you want to know what you need to do? You need to learn how to sell. And the next day he shows up with 3 books. And I read Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Tom Hopkins in the order that he gave me, listened to a whole bunch of Brian Tracy cassette tapes in the months that followed, started selling like no one's business. Like I was selling 12-month packages, $4,000, $5,000 packages. I ended up quitting Oz. I ended up then quitting Disneyland because I was working full time. And when Jim Franco saw that I was all of a sudden working full time as a personal trainer, I told Jim, I said, man, like my schedule's packed. I'm packed. This is great. I appreciate you for teaching me this. I go, the next thing is I need to open up my own personal training studio. He goes, well, how much money do you need? Probably $55,000. He goes, cool. Do you need a business partner? I go, I guess. Are you going to loan me money? He goes, sure. So he loaned me the $55,000 for 8% interest. He was my 50-50 business partner in Premier Results, my first personal training studio. I paid him back all that money at 8% interest, and the agreement was that he'd still be my 50-50 business partner. When I learned the skill and he saw that I used the skills that he handed me in those books, he was willing to then be my money man, allowed me to leverage his money in exchange for starting a business. And then he's like, hey, now that we're 50-50 business partners, it's only you and your personal training studio. You're just trading time for dollars. Why don't you get some other personal trainers and start scaling your business? And I had never heard the term scaling a business, because up until that point, I was always trading my time for dollars. And so before you know it, I hired a second trainer, third trainer, fourth trainer. And at one point, my first location of Premier Results, the one that I had Jim as my business partner, we had 11 personal trainers working for me, some part-time, some full-time. All I did was the sales, and then I would hand off the client to the personal trainer. And we were doing about $75,000 a month in revenue with about 25% profit margins. And of course, once I saw that happening, I was like, Jim, I think I'm gonna open up location 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do you wanna be my business partner? He's like, nope, the rest is all you, man. I've taught you everything you need to know. And so I opened up more locations on my own, and that became the catalyst of me becoming an entrepreneur, of me learning scale and structure and a good product and bringing in the right people and using the right processes to be able to create wealth and not just make money.